Hi everyone, we are group21. Today we are going to do our presentation. Our topic is cross-border merging and acquisition. First, let's talk about the definition of cross-border M&A. Cross-border M&A means a company based on a particular country acquires another company in different countries. There are some reasons of cross-border M&A. We have listed 9 important reasons. For example, portfolio diversification. It is an appropriate method for acquirer to diversify both products and geographies. Production capacity can be another reason. Building production capacity is costly and time-consuming. Rapid demand increase may result in failure to fulfill orders. M&A allows companies to quickly reach desired capacity by acquiring another firm. So far this year, a record of 962 billion worth of cross-border deals have been announced via 5,498 transactions. This represents a 38% increase in volume year-on-year, despite deal activities have dropped 18% over the same period. Meanwhile, since 2011, the US and UK have been the top target countries for cross-border deals, with the UK taking the lead this year and significantly increasing its share of volumes from 11.2% to 26.2% in 2017 year-to-date. So, what are the differences between domestic and cross-border M&A? In terms of risk, there are some specific risks for cross-border M&A. The first risk is tax. Every country has different tax laws. Getting blindsided by tax regulation can be costly. Secondly, regulatory landscape can be another one. Laws and regulations may not stay stagnant in an economy. The third risk is financial information. The availability, accuracy, and reliability of the target's financial information can be harder to obtain than originally thought. Decisions are often made without a full picture. Political landscape is the last risk. A country's political stability can also blindside you, largely in the form of change in government. In terms of complexity, cross-border acquisitions are more difficult to complete, resulting in a lower price premium and potentially higher abnormal returns for the M&A that to manage to be successful due to the discount for the increased risk. The lower long-term abnormal returns are subsequently more in line with the pre-funding that suggests that cross-border M&A performs more poorly than domestic M&A in the long run, due to the acquirer's inability to value and capture the synergies in cross-border M&A correctly. However, there are some factors that may lead cross-border M&A fail. We have listed 3 reasons. The first reason is the national cultural differences. Differences in organizational culture have a negative effect on acquisition performance, and the national cultural differences also have negative effect on acquisition performance. The second reason is power politics. Power struggle can be the major barrier to success of a merger and acquisition. Conflicts between the management of 2 companies, as well as the conflicts within a company's own management, can lead to the demise of a merger. The last reason is inadequate planning. Many merging organizations do not have adequate or complete integration and implementation plans in place. Only 1 out of 5 companies that have acquired another has developed a clear and satisfactory implementation plan. The case we are going to use in this presentation is Ping An Insurance Group Company of China attempts to acquire Fortis. Ping An Insurance Group is China's second largest insurer. It bought 4.99% of the stake in Dutch financial services from Fortis for $2.7 billion. It makes Ping An to be the largest shareholder in Fortis, and this is the largest overseas acquisition by a Chinese insurance company. However, Fortis itself was also involved in an acquisition in 2007. It was trying to take over the Dutch bank ABN by 24 billion euros. The acquisition of ABN stretched Fortis' balance sheet at a time when the global liquidity retreated because of the GFC. Therefore, Beijing government sought control of the Fortis Beijing banking operations to France BNP without getting the approval of Fortis shareholder. As a result, Fortis was forced to dismantle and nationalize in 2008. In 2012, Ping An has filed an international arbitration claim against Beijing in an attempt to recoup the losses from its investment in Fortis. What brings Ping An and Fortis into this cross-border merging and acquisition? In terms of Fortis, firstly, the M&A can help them get rid of the capital risk. Secondly, Fortis can enter the asset management market of China by cooperating with Ping An Insurance. In addition, this M&A can provide an amount of capital to settle the ABN bank. In terms of Ping An Insurance, Helping Fortis Group to survive during the crisis also benefits themselves. It can reduce the losses from decline in stock price. The acquisition makes Ping An able to have a world-leading global asset management platform immediately and become China's largest asset management company after acquisition. However, some specific risks that involve in this case lead to acquisition failure. Firstly, although Ping An Insurance have hired JP Morgan as the only financial investment consultant to make evaluation for them, however, there are insufficient investigations have been done before acquisition. Some important information was even concealed from the investor. Secondly, the acquisition of Fortis was set too high and it was an unpractical target to become a group company of the international asset quickly. There is no any complementary advantage between Ping An and Fortis. Fortis itself has disordered in company's orientation. It should not become a platform or backup of Ping An's insurance going overseas market. Thirdly, when Fortis was decided to acquire ABN Bank for 71 billion euros, the leaders of Ping An saw it as a manifestation of Ping An's strong competitiveness, which guaranteed a promising future. However, acquisition of ABN and GFC that triggered the collapse of Fortis. Lastly, the fact has shown that when crisis occurred in Fortis, Beijing and the Netherlands government carried out the nationalization. They neither asked for shareholders' opinions nor get the formal authorizations from the board of directors of Fortis. They handled the deal alone and forced the board of directors to sign on the documents of corporate restructuring. This means Ping An Insurance has no right to control their investment risks. Now, it comes up to a question that how those risks can be managed and controlled. Firstly, long-term goal development should be taken into consideration in cross-border M&A in financial area. Secondly, investment risk should be recognized in advance. Thirdly, investment objectives of cross-border M&A should be chosen and evaluated carefully. Transnational acquisition should comply with the strategies of internationalized operation of Chinese enterprises. So, what have we learned so far? Merging and acquisition is an active economic activity that plays an important role in economic growth and shaping industry structure. Domestic and cross-border M&A are different in terms of risk, return, and complexity. Generally, cross-border M&A requires a higher level of risk management, while the return to buyer relatively lower than domestic M&A. According to Ping An case, a better risk management should be done. Generally, a long-term goal and objectives should be identified and evaluated before the acquisition, and investment risk should be recognized and effectively controlled. Therefore, there are many areas in cross-border M&A requiring a more theoretical and empirical development. A good and efficient due diligence, a better planning, and a rigid execution are the key to succeed in cross-border merging and acquisition. Here are some references. Thank you for your listening. This presentation is authorized for use only in AFIN867 International Financial Management at Macquarie University.